Welcome back to the channel, coin enthusiasts and treasure hunters. In this video, we're exploring the four most expensive and valuable United States bicentennial quarter-dollar coins, uncovering their history, unique features, and why they've become some of the most sought-after pieces among collectors. First up, we're diving deep into one of the most extraordinary treasures in American numismatics, the most rare and valuable 1919 Standing Liberty Quarter with the Denver D Mint mark, specifically the ultra-rare variety known as the Stars Below Eagle. Even when found in very dirty and worn condition, this coin holds immense historical significance and commands staggering prices in the collector's market. If you've ever wondered why certain quarters can be worth thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars, then this episode will show you exactly how rarity, history, and condition combine to make the 1919 D one of the most valuable bicentennial-era symbols of American coinage. The year 1919 was an important moment in U.S. history. World War I had ended the year prior, and the country was adjusting to a new economic and cultural reality. At the same time, the Denver Mint was producing the Standing Liberty Quarter, part of a coin series that ran from 1916 to 1930. The Denver Mint had a reputation for lower mintages compared to Philadelphia, which made its coins scarcer by nature. Only a limited number of quarters with the Stars Below Eagle reverse design were ever struck in 1919, and many of them quickly entered circulation. The passage of time, combined with heavy everyday use, meant that very few examples survived in collectible condition, and this scarcity is what now makes the coin such a prized piece for collectors. Turning to the design, the Standing Liberty Quarter was created by sculptor Herman A. McNeil, and it stands as one of the most beautiful designs in U.S. coinage history. On the obverse, Lady Liberty is shown standing between two raised pillars, holding a shield in her left hand and an olive branch in her right, symbolizing both protection and peace. On the reverse is an eagle in flight, flanked by stars. What sets the 1919 D Stars Below Eagle variety apart is the placement of those stars, positioned directly below the soaring eagle instead of around it, as seen in other designs. This detail makes the coin instantly recognizable to advanced collectors and numismatic experts. Even in dirty or worn condition, the defining features of Liberty and the eagle remain visible, making it a coin of great artistic and historical interest. Now let's talk about rarity. The 1919 D Standing Liberty Quarter is rare to begin with, but the Stars Below Eagle variety pushes it into an entirely different category of scarcity. Most circulated examples were worn nearly smooth by decades of handling, and the dirt and grime from age only add to the challenge of identifying them. Coins in uncirculated or mint state grades are virtually unheard of, and even mid-grade examples are rarely seen at auctions. In very dirty condition, the coin might not appear impressive at first glance, but collectors know the Denver Mint mark and the distinctive star placement make it an invaluable find. The survival rate of this coin is incredibly low, and its scarcity drives up demand in every grade and condition. Collector demand for the 1919 D is exceptionally strong, and it's not hard to see why. Standing Liberty Quarters are already a beloved series, but the Stars Below Eagle variety represents one of the key rarities that can make or break a complete set. Collectors who specialize in 20th century U.S. coinage view this coin as an essential centerpiece, while those who chase rarities across series recognize its prestige and importance. The Denver Mint mark combined with the rare reverse variety makes this coin stand out in ways that few other quarters can. It is a coin that has become legendary, and for serious collectors, owning one is a mark of distinction in their collection. When it comes to market value, the 1919 D Standing Liberty Quarter Stars Below Eagle commands extraordinary prices. In very dirty and heavily circulated condition, it can still bring anywhere from $3,000 to $6,000 depending on overall detail and legibility. Higher grade circulated coins range from $10,000 to $25,000, while certified mint state examples, though nearly unobtainable, have sold for well over $100,000 at major auctions. These staggering price ranges are a direct reflection of the coin's rarity and desirability. Even in less appealing condition, it remains one of the most expensive Standing Liberty Quarters ever struck by the U.S. Mint. For collectors who hope to find one, there are a few practical tips. Condition is always important, so carefully check the details on Liberty's figure, the shield, and especially the eagle with the stars below it. Grading services like PCGS or NGC can help authenticate and properly grade the coin, which adds significant value. Luster and original color are rare in such old coins, but even a dirty example can clean up well enough to reveal key features. Always avoid harsh cleaning, since that can reduce its value dramatically. As for where to look, estate sales, old coin shops, and specialized auctions are the most likely sources, though the odds of finding one in pocket change today are virtually zero. The 1919 D standing Liberty quarter with the stars below eagle reverse is a legendary rarity that combines history, artistry, and extreme scarcity in one coin. Its importance cannot be overstated, as it captures the spirit of post-World War I America while showcasing one of the most iconic designs in U.S. coinage. Whether found in dirty condition or preserved in higher grades, it remains a dream coin for both seasoned collectors and new enthusiasts. Its market value, rarity, and symbolic beauty ensure that it will continue to hold its place among the most valuable quarters ever struck. And if you found this exploration fascinating, stay tuned, because in our next video, we'll uncover another rare and valuable coin that might just be hiding in plain sight. And secondly, we're exploring the most fascinating and sought-after coins in American numismatics. The United States 1920 standing Liberty quarter with the Denver D mint mark, a coin that embodies the spirit of its era while presenting modern collectors with a formidable and exciting challenge. The Standing Liberty Quarter series, designed by the renowned sculptor Herman Atkins McNeil, is perennially collectible due to its stunning artistic merit and relatively short run from 1916 to 1930. The 1920D issue, in particular, stands out not for its pristine survival, but often for the opposite. Its notorious difficulty to find in any condition above well-worn. This coin is a classic example of an issue where the mint mark tells the entire story. Struck at the Denver Mint, which had a reputation for weaker strikes and lower outputs compared to Philadelphia, the 1920 D is a key date that commands attention and respect, making it a prize find in any grade. To understand the 1920 D, we must place it in its historical context. The year 1920 was a period of tremendous transition. World War I was over, and America was stepping into the Roaring Twenties, a decade of great economic and social change. The Denver Mint, however, was operating under the pressures of post-war coinage demands. In 1920, the Denver Mint produced just over 3.5 million quarters, a figure that pales in comparison to the Philadelphia Mint's output of over 27 million coins that same year. This lower mintage, combined with the fact that these coins entered circulation and were heavily used for years, is the fundamental reason for its scarcity today. They were workhorses in the economy of a booming nation, not items saved for posterity. The design itself is a masterpiece of American coinage. The obverse features a full-length figure of Liberty striding forward through a gateway, clad in a flowing gown and holding a shield in her left hand and an olive branch in her right. She is meant to be a personification of both peace and preparedness. The reverse is equally majestic, featuring a powerful eagle in flight, surrounded by stars. On the 1920 D, the mint mark is located just below the eagle on the reverse, a small but critical detail. One of the most famous design quirks, and a major point for collectors, is the presence of 3 stars placed beneath the eagle on the reverse, a feature that distinguishes it from the earlier Type 1 design. The strike on Denver coins is often weak, particularly on Liberty's head and the shield details, which is a defining characteristic of the issue. When we discuss the rarity and survival of the 1920 D standing Liberty quarter, we are almost exclusively talking about coins in lower grades. The vast majority of survivors are classified as good or very good, showing heavy wear with most details on Liberty's body and the eagle's breast feathers being smooth or nearly completely worn away. Finding an example in fine condition is a notable event for a collector, and locating one in very fine or extremely fine is a true rarity. Examples in about uncirculated condition are exceptionally rare, and those in full mint state are legendary, with perhaps only a handful known to exist in the world. This extreme rarity and high grade is what fuels the intense demand and high valuations for any specimen that has managed to avoid the brutal wear of commerce. Within the Standing Liberty Quarter series, the 1920 D is a premier key date, arguably second only to the legendary 1916 issue. Its status is not built on a tiny mintage but on its profound scarcity in collectible condition. For series collectors aiming to complete a set, the 1920 D is one of the final and most difficult hurdles to overcome. It stands out not because it's flashy or typically beautiful, but because of its character and the story its worn surfaces tell. It represents a coin that was used hard and put away wet, a tangible piece of history from America's heartland that saw endless transactions during a dynamic decade. So, what is the market value for such a historically significant, yet often very dirty and worn coin? For a heavily circulated example in good to good plus condition, which is the most common survivor, you can expect a price range between $150 to $300. A coin in very good condition might command $300 to $500. If you are fortunate enough to find a solid fine example, prices begin around $600 and can climb to $900 or more. Very fine specimens are solidly in the $1,000 to $2,000 range. And for the rare about uncirculated coins, prices skyrocket to $5,000 and can reach $15,000 or higher, depending on the quality of the surfaces and luster. In today's market, even a dirty, low-grade example is a valuable collectible. For collectors on the hunt for a 1920 D, your strategy must be realistic. Focus first on authenticity and legibility of the date and mint mark. Due to the weak strikes and wear, these details can be faint. Purchasing a coin that has been professionally graded by PCGS or NGC is highly recommended, as it guarantees authenticity and protects your investment. Look for as much detail as possible in the shield and head on the obverse, and the eagle's breast on the reverse. Don't be deterred by dirt or toning. What matters most is the underlying detail that remains. Your best chances of finding one will be at major coin shows, through reputable online auction houses, or from established dealers who specialize in early 20th century silver. The 1920 D Standing Liberty Quarter is more than just a coin. It is a numismatic monument to a specific time and place. Its value is derived from its historical significance, its challenging rarity in decent condition, and its central role in one of America's most beautiful coin series. It appeals to new collectors as a tangible, albeit worn, key date that is still within reach, and to seasoned veterans as a coin that represents a true trophy and a test of a collector's perseverance. Owning one, in any condition, is to hold a piece of the American narrative from a century ago. Now that we've uncovered the secrets of this Denver-minted classic, have you ever wondered about a coin that is even rarer? A coin so elusive that most collectors will only ever see it in photographs? In our next video, we will be examining the legendary 1913 Liberty Head Nickel, a coin with only 5 known examples and a story shrouded in mystery and intrigue. You won't want to miss it. And thirdly, we're diving into one of the most intriguing and highly sought-after coins ever produced in the United States, the rare 1929 Standing Liberty Quarter, carrying the elusive San Francisco S mint mark, and most notably recognized by the variation of stars placed beneath the eagle on the reverse side. Even when found in very dirty or heavily circulated condition, this quarter is one of the standout rarities that continues to command the attention of coin collectors, historians, and investors alike. Its historical backdrop, its design intricacies, and its enduring scarcity make it an essential piece of American numismatic storytelling. The year 1929 was a pivotal one in American history. It marked the onset of the Great Depression following the stock market crash in October, and it was also one of the final years of production for the Standing Liberty Quarter series, which ran from 1916 through 1930. The San Francisco Mint's contribution to the 1929 mintage was relatively limited, producing far fewer coins than the Philadelphia Mint. That smaller output, combined with the economic turmoil that defined the era, meant that many of these coins were heavily circulated and very few survived in pristine condition. The story of this coin is not just about silver or design, but about a turbulent moment in American life that shaped how people used and valued their money. The design of the Standing Liberty Quarter has always been admired for its classical beauty and symbolic detail. On the obverse, we see Lady Liberty herself standing proudly in a flowing gown, holding a shield in one hand to symbolize defense and an olive branch in the other to symbolize peace. The date, 1929, is prominently displayed at the bottom, though it is worth noting that the date was often worn off quickly due to the design's high relief. On the reverse side, the American bald eagle soars mid-flight, with the distinctive stars placed below the bird instead of in the more traditional placement. This minor detail distinguishes certain variations within the series and contributes significantly to the collectible appeal. Together, these design choices reflect both artistry and national identity at a time when symbolism carried immense weight. When it comes to rarity, the 1929 Standing Liberty Quarter is a fascinating case. While not the lowest mintage of the series, survival rates in better grades are low, especially given how heavily these coins were used in everyday transactions during the Depression. Very dirty or heavily circulated examples are far more common, but the presence of any surviving piece in collectible condition remains a treasure. The fragility of the date stamping, combined with silver's tendency to wear down quickly, means that fully legible, high-quality examples are scarce. In fact, uncirculated or lightly worn specimens are considered true rarities and can fetch staggering sums at auction. Collector demand for this coin has always been strong, and it is easy to see why. The Standing Liberty Quarter series as a whole occupies a special place in numismatics, bridging the artistry of the early 20th century with the challenges of the nation's economic struggles. The 1929 is especially appealing because it represents the San Francisco Mint's craftsmanship during one of America's most defining years. Collectors often describe this coin as both beautiful and historically charged, a rare combination that elevates it above many other quarters of the same era. It is not just another silver coin. It is a witness to history, standing as a physical reminder of resilience and transition. Now let's talk value. Even in very dirty or heavily circulated condition, a 1929 Standing Liberty Quarter can command anywhere from $50 to $150, depending on legibility of the date and overall surface detail. Mid-grade circulated examples often sell in the $300 to $800 range, while higher-end specimens in extremely fine to about uncirculated condition can reach values between $1,500 and $3,000. The real showstoppers, mint state coins with full head detail on Liberty, can exceed $15,000 at major auctions. The spread in value is wide, but it underscores the importance of condition and the willingness of collectors to pay top dollar for coins that combine rarity, beauty, and historical weight. For those interested in collecting this quarter, a few tips are worth keeping in mind. First, always focus on the legibility of the date, as many examples have worn away entirely, dramatically reducing value. Second, pay close attention to grading, as small differences in wear can mean hundreds or even thousands of dollars in price variance. Third, examine the luster and color. Natural patina is often more desirable than cleaned or artificially brightened surfaces. Finally, know where to look. Estate sales, old coin collections, and reputable coin dealers are your best bets. Those serious collectors often find the most valuable pieces through trusted auction houses. Patience is key, as the right coin can appear when least expected. In conclusion, the 1929 Standing Liberty Quarter with the stars below the eagle is a coin that blends artistry, rarity, and historical resonance in a way few others can match. Even when found in very dirty condition, its value and importance remain undeniable. For new collectors, it offers an accessible entry point into one of the most admired coin series in U.S. history, while for seasoned numismatists, it represents an enduring challenge to track down in high grade. This coin is more than just silver. It is a tangible connection to a turning point in American history, and owning one is like holding a piece of that story in your hand. Beyond its market value and historical appeal, the 1929 Standing Liberty Quarter also serves as an educational tool for collectors and historians alike. It teaches lessons about minting practices, circulation habits, and how economic conditions can impact survival rates of a coin. The dirty or heavily worn examples, while not the most visually appealing, actually tell a powerful story of use in everyday commerce during the Depression. Each scratch, stain, or worn detail is evidence of a coin that passed through countless hands when every cent mattered. This is why many collectors, even those who specialize in pristine examples, often keep circulated pieces in their collections. They embody the real human history that pristine coins cannot show. For anyone building a meaningful numismatic collection, the 1929 Standing Liberty Quarter is a reminder that condition may influence price, but the true value of a coin lies in the history and story it carries forward. Before we wrap up, stay tuned, because in our next video we'll be exploring another incredible rarity that has captured the imagination of collectors for decades. If you thought today's coin was fascinating, you won't want to miss the journey into our next featured treasure. And at the end, we're going to explore a truly fascinating and often misunderstood piece of American numismatics. We're going to be talking about a coin that, at first glance, might just look like a very old, very dirty quarter. But to the trained eye, this 1930s Standing Liberty Quarter from the San Francisco Mint is a hidden gem with a story that is absolutely worth telling. A story of economic turmoil, artistic design, and surprising rarity that makes it a cornerstone for any serious collection of classic U.S. silver. Now, I know the title mentioned bicentennial, but that's a common mix-up. This is the original Standing Liberty Quarter, a design that first appeared in 1916, and this 1930 specimen is highly collectible precisely because it represents the end of an era. It was the last year this iconic design was minted before being replaced by the Washington Quarter in 1932. Its collectability is magnified by its extremely low mintage, a direct result of the Great Depression, which means even in worn and dirty conditions like the one we're focusing on, it's a significant piece of history that is increasingly difficult to find. This coin wasn't saved, it was spun out of necessity, and surviving examples are treasured relics. To understand why this coin is so special, we have to travel back to the year 1930. The Roaring '20s were over, and the United States was plunging headfirst into the Great Depression. Banks were failing, businesses were closing, and millions were out of work. In this climate of economic despair, there was little need for new coinage. People were hoarding what money they had, especially silver coins. The San Francisco Mint, therefore, produced a mere 1.7 million quarters that entire year, a paltry figure compared to the tens of millions minted in the previous decade. This coin wasn't just struck in 1930. It was forged in the heart of America's greatest economic crisis, and that context is stamped into every detail. The design, by sculptor Herman A. McNeil, is one of the most beautiful and intricate ever placed on a U.S. coin. The obverse features a full-length figure of Liberty standing in a gateway, clad in chainmail, and holding a shield in one hand and an olive branch in the other, a powerful symbol of America's desire for peace, but readiness for defense. The reverse is equally stunning, featuring a majestic eagle in flight, a design that is both dynamic and graceful. The key feature we're looking for on this specific coin is the placement of the stars. On the reverse, you'll notice 3 stars placed directly below the eagle. This is a design modification made in 1925 to add durability, and it's the version found on all 1930 issues. Even under layers of grime, the strength of this design can often still be appreciated. When we talk about rarity and survival, the 1930 quarter is a classic case of a coin that is common in low grades but exceedingly rare in high grades. Because of its low mintage and heavy use during the Depression, most examples were worn down to the point of losing their finer details. Finding one with a full head on Liberty, clear shield lines, and strong feathers on the eagle is the goal of every series collector and is a monumental challenge. A coin in very dirty condition, like our subject, is typical for the issue. That dirt and toning, while obscuring details, also often protects the underlying surfaces from cleaning and abrasion, sometimes preserving more original detail than a harshly cleaned coin. Within the Standing Liberty Quarter series, the 1930 holds a unique position of respect and demand. It is the key date for the later Type B, or mature design, which ran from 1925 to 1930. While not as famously rare as the 1916 or some of the early full-head coins, its status as the final issue and its low mintage create a constant and strong demand from both series collectors and those who specialize in San Francisco mint issues. It stands out as a coin that every collector completing a set must have, and that permanent demand ensures its value remains strong across all grade levels, making it a solid performer in the numismatic market. So what is this coin in very dirty condition worth in today's market? It's crucial to understand that value is entirely dependent on the details hidden beneath that surface grime. A heavily worn example with little detail left might trade for its silver value, around $4 or $5. However, a coin that is dirty but still retains a significant amount of its design, perhaps grading good or very good, can command a premium between $30 and $75 due to its key date status. If that dirt were carefully conserved to reveal a problem-free, original surface with stronger details, the value could jump into the hundreds. It's a coin where a little bit of hidden detail can mean a massive difference in price. For collectors on the hunt for a 1930s, my advice is to focus intensely on the condition of the key features. Look for the strongest possible detail on Liberty's head, the shield, and the eagle's breast feathers. Avoid coins that have been harshly cleaned or polished, as this destroys both the value and the character of the coin. A dark, even toning, or what we call old cabinet dirt, is often preferable to a bright, scrubbed surface. Be patient and search through offerings at reputable coin shows, from established dealers, and on major online auction platforms. Don't be afraid of a dirty coin. Be afraid of a damaged or artificially altered one. In conclusion, the 1930s Standing Liberty Quarter is far more than just old change. It is a tangible piece of American history, a final testament to a beloved coin design, and a genuinely scarce issue that has captivated collectors for generations. Its appeal is universal, offering an affordable entry point for new collectors in lower grades, while presenting a supreme challenge for seasoned veterans seeking a high-grade example. Its story, etched in silver and shaped by the Great Depression, ensures its place as a perennial favorite and a cornerstone of any collection of 20th-century American coinage. What truly separates the 1930s from many other coins is the narrative contained within its worn surfaces. This piece was not tucked away in a collector's cabinet, but was instead a working piece of currency during the most difficult decade in modern American history, passing from hand to hand in a struggling economy where every single cent counted, and that palpable history of survival and utility, even manifesting as a thick layer of accumulated grime, adds a layer of profound depth and character that a brilliant uncirculated example simply cannot replicate, making it a cherished object for those who appreciate coins not just as collectibles, but as artifacts bearing witness to the lived experience of the past. Now, if you think a dirty old quarter from San Francisco is interesting, just wait until we examine next time. We're going to be looking at a coin that is arguably the most famous error in all of American numismatics, a coin that was struck on the wrong metal entirely and is worth a literal fortune. You won't want to miss the story of the 1943 copper penny. So be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out. Thanks for watching, and happy collecting.